Hugh Jackman finally debuts in his last film as the Wolverine, or so he says, in the newest movie set in the X-Men universe timeline. I want to preface this before I go any further into the video. This is a spoiler review, meaning there are going to be major plot points and twists addressed in this video. So if you haven't watched Logan yet, be aware. Also, I'm gonna have to cut this video a little short because I'm just trying to keep up and not fall behind in... life, man. Just life, really. One more thing. If you can't tell already, I think I'm coming down with a cold right now. Yep. Let's see if I can actually survive talking this long. So anyways, here is my review for Logan. Logan is a film directed by James Mangold that follows an old, worn-down Wolverine. It takes place in the year 2029, which is set roughly 6 years after the Days of Future Past storyline's future, where almost all the old mutants he once knew are practically extinct. Wolverine sees his life as a never-ending, inescapable dark void, but when a mysterious young girl walks into his life, things start mutating into an adventure against the nightmarish dark forces of the world. If there's anything that no one really complains about this type of serious movie, and rightfully so, it's the acting. Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart as Wolverine and Professor X respectively finish off strong in their final portrayals of the characters. Though I found it a little, not particularly bad, but weird whenever Xavier used curse words. I don't know, it's just that the character he's been playing, not McAvoy's, has been seen as the wise teacher, the one that is above using foul language sentence after sentence. Again, this is not a negative, it actually supports the tone of the film established with the grim and gritty theme of utter extinction, balls to the wall action, and the full circle redemption story for Logan. The new element they added to Xavier was really interesting. As mighty and powerful his mind is, it also makes it sometimes uncontrollable, resulting in devastating time-freezing seizures and insane crazy talk. Additionally, the actress who plays X-23 did a phenomenal job, blew my expectations out of the water, and honestly, as child actors go, she may be one of the best ones out there. She was able to pull the audience into the movie with every scene she was in, from the gory decapitations to the intense facial expressions she displayed. Hell, even when she was eating cereal. Who knew if you saw that girl down the street looking at you like that, you'd turn the hell the other way and just book it as fast as you can. As far as the villains go, Richard Grant and Boyd Holbrook did fantastic jobs as playing the biggest assholes on screen. Not gonna lie, the things their characters did, Xander Rice and Donald Pierce, were disgustingly despicable. I know she has a super enhanced healing factor and all, but when Pierce shot that harpoon at Laura, in my book, that is the definition of the lowest of a human being. Just the image of a grown man with a chiseled face and facial beard shooting an 11-year-old through the heart is just, wow, you are truly the lowest of the low. Haven't been that happy a villain got wrecked by a bunch of kids in a while. Now let's talk about the action scenes. The fight sequences in this film were much more satisfying this time around because of the R rating. Yes, you did see Wolverine slice random guys in all the other X-Men films prior to this, but actually physically seeing the blades actually peer out through the other end of the bad guys' bodies was just like, damn, you know he did. Seriously, there were times where I jumped a bit because chills were sent down my spine whenever Wolverine's claws went all the way through to the person's eye socket, or when people were throwing around decapitated heads like volleyballs in a high school gymnasium. Especially in the super intense epileptic frozen time sequence, where Xavier just freezes everyone's bodily movements, and Logan has to make his way up to the building to save everyone. Just the high scaling sound during the whole duration of the set piece was a masterpiece. And I know it was a serious scene, but when I saw everyone frozen in time, was I the only one thinking, "Sweet dreams are made of these, who am I to..." No? Just me? Okay. And the CGI here was seamless. I mean, there was a close-up shot in one scene where Logan was getting hoisted up a hill where I didn't notice the green screen a bit, but that was it. And I was thinking about this after I watched the film. This is probably the first time in a superhero film where civilians we actually cared about died in front of the camera. By civilians we cared about, I don't mean the Sokovians in Age of Ultron, or the New Yorkers from Avengers 1. I mean, like, we saw them share laughs with our heroes, we saw them help each other out like friends do, and we actually witnessed them say more than a few words. And that stinging glare of betrayal Mr. Munson gave Logan was just heartbreaking, and it hit me right in the feels. If I were him, I would have honestly tried to shoot Logan down too. I mean, sure, he did help rescue their horses and help the family with their water problems, but he brought death to their family. There was so much to take in with that one scene right before Mr. Munson died, and it was just beautiful. Also, this is the first comic book film to acknowledge that comic books that are based on the same titular character actually exist. This edition could have easily blew up in the filmmakers' faces, but it turned out really well. They were just fictional and super loosely based off of the real-life counterparts. It complemented the film's realism and really added flavor to the already complex movie. Kudos to director James Mangold for that one. I expected that Logan would die at the end of the film, and I knew that it was coming as soon as the film started, but I still wasn't prepared to actually see it. The whole Wolverine arc in this universe has been leading up to this great redemption, of this final bout where he would finally come full circle with all his screw-ups and suffering. But as he lay dying on the floor with Laura holding his hand, it's like a part of my childhood died too. Listen, I'm 17 years old, right? Well, at least the time of this video's release. And literally for my entire existence on Earth, he was the only Wolverine I've ever seen. Seeing him depart just had me like, don't cry. And when X-23 finally called her dad as he took his last breath, That was just too much, yo. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. It was all waterworks after that one. Xavier's death was depressing too, and totally came out of left field. I mean, as Xavier kept talking in bed, and that was for quite a while, I started thinking that that actually wasn't Logan standing there listening to him because the camera hadn't shown his face yet. And then the camera did show his face for 3 seconds, and I was like, oh no, it is my boy Wolvie. But then as the camera cut back to Xavier on the bed, and X-24 slowly put his closed fist towards his chest, I started thinking, oh wait, what happened to the tank top? Why do you look like he walked fresh off of Les Mis? Oh shit, that's not Wolvie. But yep, it was too late. I cried on the inside. In regards to cameos, I started freaking out when Deadpool was in the intro. I never would have thought they'd actually get Reynolds to be in the serious film. But if you watch the film, as it turns out, I was not incorrect. Yeah, apparently it was just a teaser for Deadpool 2 or something. It was hilarious and still cool to see, but you know, I got my hopes up for nothing. Caliban also makes an appearance here, probably the only link or reference to X-Men Apocalypse. Stephen Merchant did the job well, and I think it was nice to see more continuity connections after all the inconsistencies that's been happening in this universe. Now for the one tiny nitpick I have with this film. It involves the character of X-24. I get what they were going for, how he was the literal, physical, symbolic manifestation of all the evil Wolverine could have been, but having him look like a clone lookalike was a little bit too much on the nose for me. To me personally, and remember this is just my opinion, it felt so in your face. I get that the point was that the Transition Project's purpose was partly to recreate Wolverine and weaponize him, but I don't know. I feel like that could have been done differently. But then again, I'm no scriptwriter, so who am I to disagree? Also, there weren't any post-credit scenes. That's not really a gripe. I just wanted to point that out. I have one more tiny input. What happened between those 6 years between Days of Future Past and Logan? Like seriously, what the heck happened? I mean, at the end of Days of Future Past, everyone was alive and well. And then here, 99.9% of them are said to be gone. Wolverine had to go through time to save everyone and they ended up dying anyways. Either destiny is so strong in that all the other mutants were meant to die one way or another, or they all simultaneously just had really bad luck. Anyways, thanks for bringing the Wolverine all those years ago to life, Hugh. You're a legend. Guys, overall the action was great, the story was fulfilling, and the acting was spectacular. Sure, there were a few gripes here and there, but what the hell? I might as well. This is one of the best superhero movies I've seen to date. I'm gonna give Logan a 100%. Well hey, what do you know, this video wasn't that short after all. Oh well. Anyways everyone, that's my time. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm really on a tight schedule right now and making videos on a frequent basis is getting tougher and tougher. Share your comments and thoughts of the movie down below, and if you genuinely like this video, then please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Also, consider following me on my Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram accounts. And for more of my videos, just click right here.